Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show, end of an era. Tom Brady isn't the only one calling it quits today. Dr. Phil is done with his daytime show. Find out when he's saying goodbye. Then, find out why youngins around the country are just now discovering Linda Ronstadt. And he's one of our most popular guests. The laundry guy returns, and he's answering all of your stain removal questions. The Jason Show starts right now. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Kendall, do the TED. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Jason Show. Glad you're here. Keep that love going. Say hi to my good friend, Kendall Mark, everyone.
Hi. Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good, happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing the Mary Tyler Moore.
No, the Mary Tyler Moore is this. This is the TED from our opening title sequence.
Forgot.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing. I love it's in the middle of winter and we're showing Ted throwing a frisbee. So the whole crew, all of us, we do the TED. We do the Kendall, which is your pose right there. And then now we have the TED throwing the frisbee. That's right. That's
Like
right.
that.
Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of you,
Yes.
let's start. This is where, we call it a little, I like to pull the curtain back sometimes. We call this section desk chat.
Ooh.
Desk chat, yeah. Here's where we tell stories. We make fun of Ted. We make fun of Mim, whatever. But we also usually start maybe some good news.
Yes.
Tell the folks some good news today.
My dad is officially retired as
Yes.
of this morning. I know a lot of people retire. We had a big party for him last night at Kelly's in Red Wing. There he is. There's my mom in a little orange sweater. My dad has been a judge for 20 years in the 1st District here in Minnesota. So most recently, the Chief Justice. That encompasses like 35 judges, 250 people that work under him. It's been a huge honor, and we're all so proud of him. This is him with everybody that works there in Goodhue County, where he specifically, like his office is. Anyway, the big thing here is that before he was a judge, he was in the school board. He was the chairman of the school board. He was the confirmation teacher. He was in Kiwanis. Like, he's had his hands in our community forever. And he's touched literally thousands of lives. And he would hate that I'm even talking about this because he's like, oh God, stop talking about me. But he's done it all and shown that hard work really can pay off, even when things have been really terrible, like people have said things, or he has really tough cases. He's done it all with dignity and class and humility, and we're just really, really proud of him. And honestly, the state's gonna miss him because I think from people I've talked to, he's been an excellent judge. So congratulations, Dad.
Well, all that is great. I think proof that he's a good man, and his biggest accomplishment is sitting to my right. So yes, yeah.
Or Miss Minnesota.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, forget
I'm like
about your sister.
the least
I'm
talented of
concentrating.
the 3 sisters, but I really
You are
appreciate
not
you.
the least talented. You be quiet.
Well,
You
one
be
of them's
quiet.
an art director and the other one's Miss Minnesota, and she's in grad school for epidemiology. So I'm like, I talk about the hot dish for a living, baby.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
I have the most fun.
I mean, I've been doing it for 20-some years. We're happy. Yeah.
It's the funnest job, I will say that. For
That's
sure.
great, though. That
It's
is
awesome.
fantastic. And I love all of his colleagues rightfully celebrating him.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing so many people from around the state and from different periods of his life. Like one of his first jobs as an attorney, one of the honchos there was there. And it was talking, they're talking about like this was 40 years ago. So it's cool to see all the people he's impacted, and obviously we love him.
He's a good man. I've met him a few times, and I even pulled some pull tabs with him one time.
Yes,
We
sure
did. That's right.
He'd never done it before. He's like, what are you doing?
Didn't you win that time? The very
I
first.
did. It's the only time I've ever won.
Yeah. The very first time we had like a little Jason Show thing. The very first time I've ever played pull tabs with this one, you pulled like a 200 or something.
Yeah, Jason bought the ticket, and I pulled the money. I was like, thanks.
Yeah, and you kept the money as
I
you
sure
should.
did.
As
I
you
sure
should.
did.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a little hinky. But it's fine. Yeah. Anyway.
I was like, this is for me, right?
It's fine. It's fine. I love you. Time to get started. Leo, activate the hot dish. Here we go.
Remember that time I
What the hell's wrong with me?
$100?
Activate the hot dish. What am I, Picard? Yeah, okay, here we go. Daytime syndicated programming has experienced massive change over the last year. If you're thinking, what? So Ellen, gone. Wendy, gone. Maury, gone. You are not the father, Aaron. They've all left their shows. And now you can add one more to that list. This surprised the heck out of me last night. Dr. Phil suddenly announced that he's going to end his talk show at the end of... Okay, Aaron, hold your applause until I finish reading here. He's going to end his talk show at the end of this season. Like in a couple months, several months. By the way, this marks Phil's 21st season as the host of Dr. Phil. It comes as his most recent 5-year contract came to an end. Since Oprah left daytime, I think 2011? Yeah, 2011. Dr. Phil has been the highest rated talk show for the past decade. The distributor of Dr. Phil is like, okay, girl, don't go totally. They want to keep Dr. Phil in primetime to do specials and things, but that is being met with a little bit of resistance from the stations that now carry him. Okay. Here's what they want to do, and I'm going to try to not talk too inside baseball. Mm-hmm. They want all the stations that have Dr. Phil, so keep an eye out for this. They want all the stations that run Dr. Phil to keep running him, and they're going to run reruns. But Phil is going to tape what they call donuts. Mm-hmm. They're going to tape new little updates and put them into the show. So that you think that they're new episodes, but really, it's 21 years of reruns. So keep an eye out. Like here locally, are the station CCO runs Dr. Phil here. Mm-hmm. Seattle, I don't know what affiliate does, but keep an eye if the station that runs Phil now keeps Phil in the fall. Because that's what they did with Judge Judy.
Right. I think it sounds too like he wants to move into primetime and he said like he wants to bring back the values of the American family because he's worried about the values of the American family. This was a recent little spiel that he put out there. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you, Dr. Phil. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we thought about this too. One more thing, a note. Once Phil leaves, and then Rachel Ray, if she leaves, that's it from the Oprah era. That's all of Oprah's offspring. Dr. Oz, no, Oprah's little mugwise. Yeah, we have her Horcruxes. You know what I mean? Oprah's Horcruxes are all gone now. Because we got your Rachel Ray, she spun off Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, and once they're gone, they're gone. That's it, yeah.
Weird.
Next into this, I know what stations could put in their place.
Here we are.
Leo, come back to 5. We're cheap. Actually, we're free. Yeah.
And unemotional.
Next in the dish, CNN is going through some major changes, you think? And reportedly is eyeing up, speaking of Oprah, is eyeing up CBS News' most prized anchor. CNN has approached Gail King about hosting a new show, and this would be in addition to CBS This Morning. If she's going to do this, it would actually mark a reunion for her because the new big boss at CNN is Gail's old boss at CBS This Morning, a dude named Chris Licht. He hired her when he recreated CBS This Morning like a decade ago. Now, the deal would be similar to what Anderson Cooper does because think about it. Anderson's on CNN and he also goes, I'm Anderson Cooper. And for 60 Minutes.
Right.
Before Gail re-signed her deal at CBS, CNN proposed that she take over the primetime spot when Chris Cuomo got the boot. I think this is a great idea. Here's why. 2 quick reasons. A, I've always said CNN needs to put back into primetime a show like Larry King. You're not going to win, I don't think, on opinion news. That's dominated right now by Fox and MSNBC. So counter-program CNN. Counter program. Put a show like Larry King with a mic and get newsmakers. Say what you want about Larry King. A, he was a great broadcaster. B, the human owl got every newsmaker ever to sit across the street, across the desk from him. So get Gail King because Gail has the connections.
And the same last name.
And the same last name.
We
That's
just
right.
changed the front of the graphics.
Change the font. Yeah. So, do you like that idea, having Gail do it?
I mean, she's fantastic. Who doesn't like Gail King? I mean, people don't, but most people like her.
She's easy. That's why people talk to her. Look what R. Kelly did for my goodness, No, I'm just saying he opened up to her and freaked out. Anyway, next in the dish, Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler, speaking of reunions, are back for another movie. The trailer for Murder Mystery 2 just dropped. Look.
Yo, Raja.
Yo, Nick, the Maharaja is getting married.
What?
This weekend, I'm on new private island, and I want you to come.
Honey, do you remember what happened last time we went on a getaway?
Yeah, some people died.
Not a lot of people.
You think 5 people dying is a lot?
Okay.
Nick and Audrey! Oh my God!
Have you ever seen anything like this? A gift box.
Earrings? iPhone. Those are gonna get you in trouble.
You promise?
Oh. How handsome are you, man? I only have eyes for you. Oh.
And now it's time for Gloom!
Not the Maharaja. This is a distraction.
From what?
From the escape. The Maharaja's been kidnapped. And all of you are suspects.
Okay. Oh, it's like the discount books version of Knives Out. The two are full-time detectives who are struggling to get their private eye agency off the ground. Murder Mystery 2 hits Netflix in March. That was shot in Hawaii. They were right next to us when we were there in July shooting that movie. Yeah. People kept going, I just saw Adam Sandler at the Apple Store. They were all over the place. Yeah, they were all over the place. Look, I love Adam Sandler. I love early Adam Sandler. But I make fun of it. But he pulls in the numbers. His movies are routinely ginormous hits for Netflix.
I didn't mind the first one.
You didn't mind it?
No, I laughed. I don't remember what it was about. Somebody died, and I laughed. It was kind of sad. Like, you're like, oh, God, somebody died, and I'm laughing. I feel conflicted.
I don't think you're supposed to laugh at that, but that's all right. You do you, girl. You do you.
Yeah.
We have a lot more to come, including an audience full of M&Ms when we return. Back in a moment. Welcome back. I'm working at Taco John's today, by the way. Right after the show, I'm working the drive-thru at Taco John's, the new one. I wanted to surprise my mom in her neck of the woods in Burnsville. I'm doing that for a shoot, and so that'll be coming up soon. I'm very excited.
Can you steal the potato olay recipe and send it to us?
I'll get right on that. Yeah. It makes me happy because I now love Taco John's, and it reminds me of my favorite late night skit ever when Letterman worked at Taco Bell at the drive-thru. It was one of the best bits ever. So I won't be a quarter as funny as him, but I can't wait to do it. So yeah. Hey, if you want lunch today, go to the Burnsville Taco John's around 11:45.
Never know who you'll see.
That's right. Welcome back. Pamela Anderson's new book and documentary on Netflix are out. I actually can't wait. I want to watch that tonight, maybe. She was on with Kimmel last night, and that, my friends, is our late night rewind.
So many good stories in here.
Yeah, well.
There's one story where your son figured out what Hugh Hefner does for a living.
Yeah.
Will you tell us that one?
Well, it was Easter. I used to take my kids to the Playboy Mansion for Easter.
Same
Easter
with
egg
our
hunt,
family.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then I was getting the car from ballet, and Brandon comes running up just in terror, and he goes, Mom, I was just got out of the grotto with Marston and Cooper. And with Dylan, and he goes, do you know what Hef does for a living? And I was like, oh, geez. And he said, he takes pictures of naked girls I said, ew, and they were just like, ew, and they jumped in the car and we sped off. I said, let's get out of here.
She had some splaining to do a few years later, but yeah.
And so did he, if he found it.
Exactly, yeah. Those kids, they're good looking. Well, think of their parents. You got Tommy Lee and you got Pamela Anderson. That's, good looking people. Next on the dish, just when you think the Real Housewives legacy show is dead, not so fast, Andy Cohen pumping the brakes on the bad news. He tweeted this: "Don't believe everything you read, #Roni Legacy." Meanwhile, Page Six is doubling down. They say not only have talks with the cast stalled, but Bravo, the network, has rescinded all the offers and has no plans to put the show on the air. I'm going to say it for a second time. This is the show we actually care about. If you're a Real Housewives fan, great. I'm glad you're redoing it. Go ahead and reboot it. I'll give it a chance. But the legacy show is what true fans want. So work a little harder, go back to the negotiation table. I don't know, get someone to, give them the money, because this is the show that's going to bring you the numbers. I'm sorry, it just is. It's not.
Did you say Luann was saying that it was dead too? Or one of the housewives was also saying they didn't think it was going to happen?
Luann is, she's like, don't count out the Countess, but she did. I know, she's so quick.
Punny.
But she did say to People Magazine, talks have stalled. Oh. Because Bravo isn't liking how much the wives are asking.
Give them the money.
Give them the money. It's just, the ratings will come in. It frustrates me because, again, this is the one we care about. Am I going to watch the new one? Of course I am, but yeah. Next in the dish. Remember last summer when the 80s song Running Up That Hill had a huge resurgence thanks to Stranger Things? Well, it's happening again. This time to a song from the 70s used in our new favorite show on HBO, The Last of Us. Look.
Try and change your mind, and I think I'm gonna love you for a long, long time.
Okay, now I won't even tell you. You're probably confused. I won't even tell you what that means. I won't tell you anything. Just know if you have watched the episode, all of you right now that have watched it, you're saying to yourself, I was dying at that part. You were crying. Yeah, we all were. So here's the deal. That's the song Long, Long Time by the icon Linda Ronstadt. The song from the 70s was featured in the much talked about episode 3 different times, including what we just showed you, the end and the end credits. Shortly after the show aired, streams of that song on Spotify went up nearly 5,000%. 5,000%.
Whoa!
Mainly fueled by your generation. Your people.
Oh.
Because they had never, I was looking at some comments on social media. People didn't even know who Linda Ronstadt was.
Okay, I am not those people.
No.
Just to be clear.
No, I don't want to make people not like Ted. I would never, ever do that. I would never, thank you, audience. I would never...
Intentionally.
I would rather walk on my lip
than
pick on Ted, but Ted didn't know who Linda Ronstadt was. Producer Ted, producer of The Jason Show, did not know who Linda Ronstadt was.
Oh, he didn't know who Laverne and Shirley were either.
Well, Laverne and Shirley, I can give him a pass.
What? The show? The name of the show?
No. I can give him a sort of pass. But Linda Ronstadt, I mean, come on, Theodore.
I give him no passes for any of the things, and I am younger than him.
Very true.
Thank you.
Very true, Kendall.
These are like pop culture duh-does.
Yeah.
Like duh.
Yeah, it is. She is. But I don't care how people are discovering her. I'm just glad she is. People are discovering Linda Ronstadt. Because, oh, that's right. Oh, is that on HBO?
It is on HBO.
Y'all watch. Thank you, Jeff. Now that you've discovered her, Theodore, there's a great documentary on HBO Max on Linda Ronstadt. Go watch it.
She's a bad A.
She is. And you forget, in the late 70s, early 80s, she was the everything. Oh, I love her.
Pooh.
Yeah, and then she sang that duet with that mouse movie, the American Tail.
I love that song.
Somewhere out there. Anyway.
Da, 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 na, na, na. Yeah.
We just ruined the legacy here. Yeah. Next in the dish, the Michael Jackson biopic, or as my friend Julia calls it, the biopic, has cast its king of pop. And it's someone who is very familiar to the Jackson family. Jafar Jackson will play MJ. He is the nephew of Michael and the son of Jermaine. Jafar has been performing since he was 12. The movie will be directed by Antoine Fuqua and produced by Graham King. Graham produced the Queen doc. The Jackson estate will also have their hand in the project, serving as producers as well. Well, I don't like that. You know how I feel. I'm not going to say it again.
Right.
You should not. People get too persnickety about their own projects, and the family's going to nitpick that. However, if you look at young Jafar, absolutely, physicality-wise, he's a good pick for his uncle.
That family, I mean, no matter what you feel or how you feel, they are some talented people.
Yes.
Like all of them.
Yes.
All of them.
And we were saying there's so many. The Jackson family's so large they could just cast the whole movie with Jacksons. You know what I mean? Get LaToya's kids, everybody's kids. You know? No, seriously. It's like the Osmonds. Just they have a lot of children. Get Your Majesty up there. You know. Your Majesty, is it Jermaine's kid? Jermaine's son, yeah.
There you go.
Next in the dish, the trailer for the newest thriller based on a Stephen King novel is out. If you haven't seen it, come back to the TV. Here's a look at the Boogeyman.
Okay, get in here. I don't know how you sleep with all these lights. What are you scared of? I don't see anything. Okay, monster check complete.
No. 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 That's one of those childhood scarring movies. You know what? Thank you, audience. You know what I mean? By the way, it's called The Boogeyman. What I mean by that is I remember, and I'm not throwing shade, and she watches my show every day. Hi, Aunt Shar. Aunt Shar, my beloved Aunt Shar, showed me Psycho when I was a kid.
Aunt Shar.
She thought I was mature for my age. I was never able to close the shower curtain ever again. And I would flood the bathroom floor, then my dad would get mad at me, and hell, my dad didn't like me much anyway, so that would just add to the situation. But I could never shower I was freaked out. Yeah.
I get it. We watched The Ring, even though we weren't supposed to, at a school at a sleepover, because we just took it from the parents, and slid it in the DVD. Oh my God, I still can't look at wet hair.
Yeah, it's
wet hair, like it's
wet
in the
hair.
drain.
Remember when the little girl crawled? She crawled out of the well and she looked all wet, like she looked all mangy. She looked wet and mangy, and she did that.
Gross. No. I shower, but when people
come out with wet hair. I get what you're saying.
Well, no, when it's not on your body anymore, and they put it in the shower, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's and then Jaws. All of these are scarring movies. Is what I'm talking. Jaws, scars people from going into the ocean.
Yeah.
I couldn't shower. You couldn't have wet hair. I guess I don't know what that meant. It's all right. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
I'm here for you. Hashtag thanks, Aunt Shar. She's watching from Florida. She didn't know she scarred me.
Well, now she
and then,
does.
oh, really quick, I know we gotta go. Then Char's son, listen to this. I had a traumatic childhood, and I just realized it. Char's son.
This explains a lot.
Char's son, basically my brother, we're both only children, cousin Stan, took me to Mommy Dearest when I was 8.
He still quotes that movie.
Let me just tell you, it said a lot about Stan and me. We'll be right back in a moment. Coming up, my friends, from red wine to pets, how do you get rid of the hardest stains around? The laundry guy is back with tips and tricks. And huge TV news, a classic lawyer from TV's past is making a comeback. Find out how when we return. One of our most popular guests. Welcome back to the show. Our next friend laughs in the face of some of the toughest stains out there. Coffee, wine. I'm not going to do it every time. Wine, chocolate, no problem. This weekend, he's at the Minneapolis Home and Remodeling Show. Give it up for the laundry guy, Patrick Richardson. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
Let's, before we get to stain demo, let's talk about the Home and Remodeling Show. What are you doing out there?
I'm talking to everybody about just sort of some easy, fun, quick ways to do laundry to make it because I think laundry's fun. So I want everybody else to find out that it's fun. So I'm kind of talking to them about that. We're not going to laugh. Laundry's fun.
Aaron Schwab, don't laugh. Laundry's fun. It's fun. And my buddy, Alexis Thompson, my radio partner, is introducing you.
Right, I know. It's so exciting.
I know. Alexis, be good.
Right.
Anyway, when you go out, and I've asked you this before, and I know your answer, but if people didn't see the last segment, like a doctor going to a party and a doctor gets asked, oh, I got a pain, doctor, or, what's the number one question people ask you?
Probably the biggest thing people ask now is how much detergent do I use because of your show? Because it used to be perspiration, but the last time I was here, I was like, the biggest mistake people make is too much detergent. So now everywhere I go, people are like, so on the Jason show, you said too much detergent.
Yeah.
How much should I be using? So
the viewers, you guys listen, seriously. So how much should they use again?
So the bottle says this much for a full load and this much for a small load. We're going to go to about that much. It's about 2 tablespoons. And that's if the load is full. So if the load starts getting smaller.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And my mom, the wizard, the wizard of laundry, was shocked by that. Okay, now let's get to some demos. And we have, Patrick is so good. He's such a good guest. He has, it's by season, right, Patrick?
Right. These are January stains. So the beginning of January, this is a smoothie and some steamed broccoli.
Okay.
And this is the end of January. This is a Frosty and some French fry grease.
Okay. Where are we starting?
We're going to start with the smoothie.
Okay.
And the trick to this, and this is like anytime, this could be any juice. This could also be like red wine. And these are the ones that really upset everybody because historically, juice and those sorts of things are really hard. So all we did is we mixed up a little oxygen bleach and some hot water.
Okay.
And then we're just going to dip it in. And what's going to happen is it's just going to turn color. And when it turns color, see it just turn kind of that yellow?
Yeah.
And then from that point, it'll just wash out. So that's all you have to do is just dip it in a little oxygen bleach.
Oh, so there's no, because you grabbed your beloved horsehair brush, you don't even have to scrub that thing?
No, it's just, it's that simple. The chemical reaction that happens with the oxygen bleach just takes the stain out. I just used the brush because I didn't have a spoon. I forgot to break one.
It's all right. It's all right. Okay, next.
So this is steamed broccoli, and this one's kind of funny. It's actually best if you get it wet. So we're going to sprinkle some baking soda on it.
Okay.
And then we're going to squeeze a lemon on it. And what's going to happen is it's going to foam. Do you see that?
Yeah.
See, okay. So that foam is actually taking this stain out. So we could actually just rinse this out and it would be gone.
Okay. Now, I know it's, did you hear the audience? Some woman goes, really?
I promise.
Really? We have doubters in the studio audience.
You can come up later.
Yeah. Okay, now let me ask.
Yeah.
How the hell did you figure that out?
Well, okay, so it's really funny. You can do this with like soap and a brush.
Okay.
And you build the lather up in the brush and then you attack it. I tried to figure out some way to get the lather without having to do the work because people, it's got to be easier. People won't do it.
Yeah.
I can give you like these really complicated methods to everything, but people won't do it.
They won't do it.
So I got to make it easy, and it's got to be something you have at home.
Yeah.
Like
because we're in the TikTok era. It has to be. Yeah.
Well, it just has to be something you have. You read like shelter magazines, and they'll be like they'll like mention some ingredient that you can only buy at one place at a market in India. And, it doesn't really work. So it has to be like simple enough that, you can just run to like, the grocery and there you go.
Okay, next.
So this is Frosty. And Frosty, actually, the problem with it is it gets really sort of embedded. And so this is when you take my beloved horsehair brush and a bar of laundry soap, and you just attack it. And what's going to happen?
And this is frosting, chocolate frosting?
Yeah, no, this is a Frosty, like a milkshake.
Wendy's Frosty?
Yeah.
Yes!
It was fun to prep for this one.
Yeah.
Because, this is just...
Is that from Jeff's office? Jeff and I both love a Frosty.
Well, I stopped on the way home and had one, and just so that I could get this.
Yeah.
So there it goes. See, it just lifts out. But the reason it's so hard to remove is because it becomes thick. And if you don't scrub it with something, like if you put this in the washing machine, it will not come out but on its own. You have to scrub at it because it's so thick that the detergent and the water and everything can't run through it. So you just scrub it, and when you get it like thin like that, then you can toss it in the washer, it comes right out.
Okay, so you said like the smoothie one is applicable for other, maybe not as specific as a Frosty. Would this work on just chocolate ice cream?
Oh, it would work on chocolate ice cream. It would work on frosting. I mean, anytime you get that sort of
crusty
is the perfect word. When you get it like that, you have to scrub it with a brush to more or less smooth it out.
Okay.
And then toss it in the washer, you're good to go.
Got it. Okay, we have one more that we'll do after the break. Plus, the last time Patrick was here, we got hundreds of questions for him on Facebook, and some we didn't get to. We're getting to some when we come back. Back in a moment. Stay with us, everyone. Frosty. Welcome back. We're here with our friend, Patrick Richardson, the laundry guy. A reminder, he's appearing at the Minneapolis Home and Remodeling Show this weekend. But right now, we're getting ready to answer your questions. But I did want to show, for the doubter in the audience, I'll just call her Linda. I don't know her name. But look at, right there, it's out. Right there was where the foam was and the stain. I know it doesn't look like it on TV, but it is out, yeah. Okay, the last one before we answer emails and questions. French fry oil.
French fry oil, because that's when they're best, right? When they're sort of hot and oily. You just spray it with vinegar and water. This is 50 vinegar, 50 water, and you give it a good douse because you need the vinegar to penetrate the grease, and you'll actually just feel it. It's already going away right there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
There's no scrubbing on this one either?
No, then you just toss it in the washer.
Okay.
I brought easy ones because they're January.
Yeah, I have a very specific one that whatever, Jeff. Okay, you're at Taco John's or you're at Taco Bell, and you're eating like a normal ground beef taco, and then that meat juice, like the meat oil, like gets on. Does this work on the meat oil?
This would totally work on the meat oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just say, driving up to the cabin, I've had the Taco John's ground beef. Yeah, okay, anyway. This is fun, though. I'm just going to do... Oh, and I was telling Patrick, by the way, Target has a little laundry department in their dollar section, the spot, what is it called? Dollar spot. Mark the spot and get 2 bottles. We got one for vodka and water, whatever. It's not to drink. Vodka and water, because that takes out smells, right? You
exactly.
told me.
It takes the odor out of anything.
And then vinegar and water. So get those. They're really cheap right now. Okay, let's go to the questions. Dee Dee is up first. Hi, Dee Dee. She writes, hey, a bottle of red wine spilled on her black and white wool area rug. She used oxygen bleach, because she loves Patrick, and water, causing the stain, though, to turn black. As she worked, the black went away, but there's still a faint brown stain. What should I do next?
Okay, so here's the trick. Oxygen bleach will take out red wine. It's hard to use on a rug because you can't rinse completely enough. So the trick is some ammonia, about probably a cup of ammonia to a quart of water, put a towel under it, and start sponging it until it's wet enough that it goes all the way through to the towel. Basically, we're trying to rinse. All we're doing is doing a really intense rinse.
Because you said something the last time that has now changed how I deal with any stain, and I forgot how you phrased it, but you said you rinse everything, so why wouldn't you rinse an area after you try to do stain removal? Because people always get mad that it leaves a ring.
Right.
And now I get it. You have to rinse the whole area.
Right.
Okay.
And so it's just hard on a rug. So ammonia will kind of help that process.
Next, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. She's up next. She asks, how do I get rid of makeup In particular, foundation out of a collar? Yeah, that's a good question, yeah.
So it's easy. You spray it with vinegar and water, you blot it, and then you scrub it with soap and a brush. Because the foundation, and the better the foundation stays on, the more oil that's in it. So the vinegar is going to cut the oil, and then the soap and the brush is going to lift the color.
Oh, that's easy. I need to do that. I have, because I wear anyway. Jody has a laundry question. Hi, Jody. What is the best laundry detergent to use? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, so my thing is use the one with the fewest number of ingredients. Like, think of it like food. If you can pronounce it, it's great. But more importantly than what brand you buy is how much you use. So just use less than they recommend. Pick your favorite, because maybe you love plant-based, maybe, you're not in a place where plant-based is easy to find and you need to buy a commercial one. Great, just use less.
The majority of the people I know pick based on smell, the fragrance. They like the smell, a particular smell. Julie has a very common question. Hi, Julie. Can you get rid of a stain that has already gone through the dryer? Oh,
wow.
Good question.
All right, so you can. So what you do is you take some oily soap. I think like liquid hand soap. I'm not a fan of using dish soap on your clothes, but like liquid hand soap. Use liquid hand soap, put it on the stain, sprinkle a little of the oxygen bleach powder on top of it, rub it in with your finger till it dissolves, let it sit an hour, 2 hours, I don't know, overnight, whatever, and then run the hottest possible tap water you have straight through it, and that will take the stain away.
Aaron Schwaberini has one right now. We'll do it in the commercial break, Aaron. Yeah, that's right. Give it up for the laundry guy, everyone. Patrick Richardson. You can see Patrick. Take a look on the main stage of the Minneapolis Home and Remodeling Show. He's there Friday at 1, Saturday at 3, and Sunday at 1. It's a triple feature. Head to MinneapolisHomeandRemodelingshow.com for more information. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Thank you, buddy.
But yeah, you need to watch.
Okay, oh yeah, so and we're back. Hey, don't forget, if you want to be a member of our audience, we have some spots available next week. We've now made it really easy. All you have to do is go to eventbrite.com, or just do this. Download the Eventbrite app, because events now are usually on there, so it's easy to get tickets. So download it, search for The Jason Show, pick a day, and come see us. Tickets are free, but
only come on a day or pick a day that you can actually come.
Thank you. Don't sign up and then sleep in, because I'll come to your house and shame you. Welcome back. You were supposed to be in the audience today.
Hello.
Wouldn't that be great if I just randomly did that? Anyway, welcome back. The dish is overflowing today, so I hope you're hungry. Leo, activate the hot dish leftovers. Do it, Leo. Here we go. Kendall hates that graphic.
I hate that graphic.
First up, the winter TV season just got started, but networks are already looking ahead to next fall, and there's some good news. I got so excited about this for fans of The Good Wife. I said Good Wife's one of my all-time favorite shows. One of the guest stars, probably my favorite, is getting her own series. Look.
Yes, just one last objection, Your Honor. The Peterson law, as atrocious as it may be.
Objection. Sustained.
It requires that Mr. Florek not only profit from a murder, but be the instrument of that murder, correct?
Are you asking me, Ms. Tassioni?
No, but you can answer if you want to.
And you can get to the point.
Oh, okay. Well, for Mr. Costco to be murdered, one key thing is required that we overlooked.
And what is that, Ms. Tassioni?
That he be dead.
Yep, that's Carrie Preston as quirky lawyer Elsbeth Tassioni. She won an Emmy, rightfully so, for the role. Well, now Elsbeth is getting her own series. Elsbeth will be produced by the creators of The Good Wife and The Good Fight, the Kings, who are just TV geniuses. I love them. As I said, The Good Wife is one of my favorite network dramas ever, ever. And Colin and I, she's our favorite. She's such a great character.
Why? Is she just quirky?
She's quirky, and Carrie does such a good job. She's unusual. And she's smart as a whip, man. And it's going to be based in New York. She's going to be helping law enforcement catch squirrely criminals. I don't normally like that kind of show, but for Elsbeth, I'll watch it. That is not the only new show coming to CBS. Matlock is making a comeback. Yeah. Move over, Andy Griffith. Oscar winner Kathy Bates will take over the role that Andy had on the long-running show on NBC. Yeah. I wasn't a Matlock fan. This was, it was, again, I don't like court shows other than The Good Wife. This wasn't my jam or jelly. But Kathy Bates on television, I might actually catch this.
And this was, I did not watch Matlock, but it was obviously extremely popular.
It was very popular. It skewed older. You know, it wasn't a young hip show, but it ran for years and years. It was like Murder, She Wrote, very similar. And immensely popular. And CBS's demo is older.
Right.
So if I'm CBS, I would be rebooting shows like this and Knots Landing.
Oh, weird. Knots Landing.
Or Dallas, just saying. Next up, it's one of the most loved books of the past few years, selling the most copies of any book in 2022. Odds are you or someone you know has read Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us. It's the story of a woman named Lily starting her life after college who gets caught in a love triangle with an older man and her childhood sweetheart. A movie version of the book is in the works, and we recently found out who will star. So here's the deal. Blake Lively will play the lead character, and Justin Baldoni will also star, and he will direct. This is why we're doing the story. Some are calling the 35-year-old Lively too old to play 23-year-old Lily. Now, you brought this story to us. Is it? And you've read the book.
Yeah.
You like the book. You're connected to the fan base.
Right.
They are really giving it to Blake.
Yeah, Colleen Hoover, people love Colleen Hoover, number one, just the author in general. And this is the book that everybody reads if you're going to read one of her books. So people are very possessive of these characters, right? Like they are with any story. So the complaints are that Blake's too old. Well, I think they're expanding it so that they can have a broader audience, not of just people who would want to see a 23-year-old in a love story. Like people like to see people that are a little older because it makes more sense, right? Also, people talk about how this book, in their words, this is not me, glorifies abusive relationships. So they're disappointed someone like Blake Lively would take on this role. I don't think that's the case. I think that's just people who maybe haven't fully read the story. Take it how you will, but I think it's an interesting, like, they don't want her to be in the movie because of that.
I don't think, you know how I feel, but blaming the actor, it's an actor taking a role, and also, so what, we're not allowed to do movies about difficult topics? I mean, there are movies made about horrible, traumatic things all the time, hopefully in an effort to get people to learn stuff.
Right.
I know what I mean? I
don't get it.
And
I love Blake Lively, so I'm very excited.
We're going to take a break. Stay right there. The shortest segment in the surprise goodbye when we return. Back after this. Yeah. Let the woman take the role. Who cares? Welcome back. It's time for the world's shortest segment. Attention all blockheads, one of the original boy bands is hosting their first fan convention this year. Calling my high school friend Ange, New Kids on the Block will host BlockCon in Chicago this spring. It features an intimate concert by the Five Guys along with panels, special exhibits, giant buttons, and a prom-themed party. I'm joking about the giant buttons. Probably will be, though, yeah. It kicks off May 26th. We'll be right back with a surprise goodbye. There's my M&Ms right there. We got your red M&M, we got your yellow M&M, we got your orange, and we got your blue. I love our audience. It's time for the surprise goodbye. You know how this works. We don't know what's in this segment until I read it live right now. Today, a new way for bosses to cut down on toilet time at work. This new type of toilet is called the slanty. It's a slanted toilet being marketed to companies as a way to increase productivity. With its slanted design, the toilet is is intentionally uncomfortable so people spend less time in the bathroom. The company also claims there are health benefits to sitting like this, but many people aren't so sure. That's right.
Gross.
And we just heard from Mim. She's buying those immediately. That's right. Our president, Marion Mim Davy Kessler.
Oh.
I mean, I'm just going to say. Yeah. Anyway, tomorrow on the show, Stephanie Hansen is back. She's got a bunch of root soup recipes to share. I actually tried one of them. That and more tomorrow. But right now, that's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.